Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another stock market video. Today we're going to be talking about Tesla stock, and I'm going to be doing a little bit of a price prediction here for 2021 and even beyond, but mostly what's going to happen in the next few months for Tesla stock. We're going to look at the chart in a lot of detail because there are some bearish flags that I wanted to point out, several sell signals that I think people should be aware of. And this isn't a bearish video on Tesla per se. I think long-term Tesla will actually move above $1,000 and will continue to do well. So I'm going to talk about, some of the bull cases there, but overall, I do think that there are several signs on the chart that show that Tesla is ready for a bit more of a serious pullback, in the sense that, right now we've seen small corrections here and there, but not an actual pullback really since we've started this uptrend, right? The last one was around here, $450. So we're going to talk about that, and just a very brief couple bits of information about Tesla right now. Market cap of $626 billion. Its most recent, all-time high was $900. That's where it peaked out. And of course, the market cap has since dropped since then. But I think there is room to fall a bit further, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So going back to the chart here, what we can see is several signs that point towards a bigger correction here for Tesla. The first thing I'm going to point out, a very simple one, is we have a very clear head and shoulders pattern on the chart, right? And if you don't know what the head and shoulders pattern, you can Google it or look at the video on my channel. But this is, a typical head and shoulder pattern right here, with the high in the middle and then the two shoulders on the sides. And as you can see, this yellow line is actually what's called the neckline at $800. We clearly moved below that and now have fully confirmed this drop, right? So that is just one of the sell signals, and this is a pretty clear one, especially considering that this is the top right now. Moreover, another sell signal that we have is, I'm going to draw this in green. We have the white Bollinger Band line moving below the 50 band moving average in orange. This is yet another very bearish sell signal, and this is actually something that hasn't actually happened, especially hasn't been confirmed in a very long time for Tesla, right? So this could be a bigger bearish move. We started moving clearly above the orange line all the way back here at $129. Since then, we have barely even touched the orange line. Over here, we had one attempt, and now this one is looking pretty much like a confirmed crossover. So if this really does get even more confirmed, this is going to be a huge bearish signal for Tesla, something that should definitely not be overlooked, right? We also have a little bit of a bigger long-term pattern playing out on the RSI, which is a bearish divergence that's been in the making for quite some time here. I'm going to draw this out. As you can see, despite the fact that we've been increasing steadily, right, and putting in constant higher highs over the last, couple months, over time, what's really been forming is a bearish divergence pattern where on the RSI, we've actually putting in lower highs over the same time period, right? Especially if you look back more clearly, even more recently, this high around here of $500 compared to the high of $900, if you look at that on the RSI, right, that was actually a lower high once again. So very big bearish divergence that's actually been forming over quite some time. Right now, we did find support at this blue 100-day moving average level around $650. So this is a very clear support level that we're seeing right now. And we could stabilize for a bit here. We're also pretty oversold on the MACD. So things could start to stabilize, and we may actually manage to hold, above $600, somewhere between $600 and $700 for maybe a few weeks at the most. But overall, I think we're going to continue to see downward pressure on the price. And I'm actually going to compare Tesla to NIO stock. I haven't even looked at it yet, but my guess is going to be that NIO is also very overextended, like a lot of these electric vehicle companies are. Once again, not saying, in a bearish manner that these EV car company stocks are just going to go crashing forevermore. I don't think that's the case. In fact, like I said, I do think Tesla will actually manage to move above $1,000, and that can very well even happen in the next 1 to 2 years. If we look at the revenue, the net income, it's actually been skyrocketing, right? This has been, pretty much their best quarter yet in every single way, with $20 billion of cash on hand. That's pretty significant. That's something that I like to see. So Tesla is growing into its valuation every quarter, it seems like, and that's something that should, increase and continue. That's what's fully expected. I don't see that changing. But right now in the short term, we did see a massive move up to $900, and now we're seeing that pullback. And sadly, I think a lot of people here think that this is the end of the pullback right here around the 100-day moving average, but I don't necessarily think that's the case, and I'll tell you why. Before I mention that, and this is one of the biggest signals in this video, I just want to explain what would be a situation where the bearish scenario would be somewhat canceled, right? If we see a move back above $900, we will most likely move to $1,000 and even above, right? But right now, that is looking very unlikely. You have to keep in mind we even have a downtrend line that's now forming, right? More flat one, and then we've got the sharper downtrend line in the short term, where we could break out of this one pretty easily and stabilize, like I said. So I'm not going to pay too much attention to that, because I'm not necessarily saying that we're just going to get a straight down move. I'm definitely expecting a little bit of stabilization here on 650. Although you can only count on that so much. We haven't moved below the 30 line on the RSI, so that's something that's good. But I am expecting us to see a dip below the 30 line on the RSI in the coming weeks. And now for one of the biggest signals that I think is being overlooked right now for the Tesla stock chart is a open gap all the way down at $425, right? So this gap is right over here. I'm drawing it in green. As you can see here, we got a jump up all the way back here, like I said, right, between this $415 to $430 range, and this is a very big, $10 to $15 open gap here. And if you don't know about gap fill theory, this is something that I discuss in my technical analysis master course in an entire video there. My course is less than $20, comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and we have 4.7 out of 5-star reviews, over 184 students now. Lot of happy customers, and please make sure to check it out if you're interested in learning technical analysis. I'll leave a link to this in the description of this video, and I have a whole specific lesson on gap fill theory. So the idea is that 90% plus of gaps in the stock market end up being filled, typically sooner rather than later, but it can take some time. But this one has already been going on for a while, and for that reason, I think it's very likely that this one actually gets filled. Now, I also want to point out we even have some gaps all the way down here at $283 or down here at $229. These are much less likely to get filled. It could happen if we see an extremely bearish move across the stock market. So I'm not too concerned about these ones, to be honest. We have a lot of support in this area, but you have to keep in mind that since we had this pretty quick move, we don't actually have much support in these levels, right? We have a little bit here where we are now around $650, and then again at $500. But after that, our next support level is going to be that $390 area, and that's in line with reaching and filling that gap at $420, give or take. So that is basically my price target for the next, I think this could happen in the next 6 months, reaching that price level. And like I said, if we do end up moving above $900 again, that would obviously cancel this bearish scenario for now. But from what I can see, the most likely scenario is indeed that we are going to continue to see this pullback play out into a bigger correction down to $425. To fill that gap, we probably will see a little dip right down to $390, somewhere around there, and then we'll start moving back up higher again as we attempt to make that recovery to $1,000 again. So that could take some time to play out, but I do think this is absolutely possible. And just to look at some comparisons here, if we look at NIO, also a EV company that's seen massive growth recently, we've had a lot of bearish signals that are just like Tesla as well, right? And I haven't even looked at this chart yet, but from what I can see, we've got that bearish crossover here. And of course, we have fully lost the 100-day moving average, and we're very quickly moving towards the 200-day moving average at $30, right? So that is also, once again, just like Tesla, pointing towards a bit of a bigger pullback here after a long bull run. And overall, right, Tesla is above its 100-day moving average, but like I said, I feel like that can only last so long here before we really start to see it move closer and gravitate towards that 200-day moving average, which is currently around $470. And really, that key level that we're going to have to close is going to be that $420 gap area. So with that being said, this is my analysis for Tesla. In the short to medium term, right, the next couple weeks, the next couple months. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more. Make sure to check out my technical analysis and follow me on Twitter for live market updates. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe and have a great day. I'll see you next time.